Hi everyone, this is a technical analysis on USDJPY. Let's start with a fundamental overview first. The USD got a boost across the board yesterday as the US China tariff relief was much better than expected. The market is now looking at the more hawkish scenario where we get an average of 10% global tariff rate and economic activity picks up on an easing in growth fears and general uncertainty. This is leading to a hawkish repricing in interest rates expectations with the market now seeing 56 bps of easing for the Fed by year end, compared to like 120 bps at the peak of the fears in April. The short dollar trade was also pretty overcrowded, so the unwinding in positioning is giving the greenback even more strength. On the JPY side, the currency has been driven mainly by global events rather than domestic fundamentals. Alongside the Swiss franc, it's been the favored safe haven in the currency space amid the swings in risk sentiment. The recent positive mood in the markets weighed on the Japanese yen, which lost ground against all the major currencies, despite the market increasing the expectations for another rate hike this year. Now, on the daily chart, we can see that USDJPY broke above this major trend line yesterday following the much better than expected US China news. The buyers piled in on the breakout and will now target the 151 handle. The sellers, on the other hand, will want to see the price falling back below the trend line to position for a drop into the 140 handle next. On the 4-hour chart, we can see that we now have this upward trend line defining the bullish momentum on this time frame. From a risk management perspective, the buyers will have a better risk towards setup around the trend line, while the sellers will look for a break lower to increase the bearish bets into new lows. On the 1-hour chart, there's not much else we can add here, as the buyers will look for a bounce around the trend line, while the sellers will look for a break lower. If the bullish momentum stays strong, we can expect the buyers to increase the bullish bets on the break of this recent high at 148.60. These red lines define the average daily range for today. For the upcoming catalysts, today we have the US CPI report. On Thursday, we get the latest US jobless claims figures, the US PPI, and the US retail sales data. On Friday, we conclude the week with the Japanese Q1 GDP report and the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Survey.